everybody. Welcome to day 22 of our Soulful journey. So, we only have 8 more of these prompts throughout for the rest of the month. So, we're getting very close. So, the importance of rituals is what we're talking about today. And so, the very first thing that when I say the word rituals, what I hear from a lot of people is that it is religious based, or people who are religious and hear us talk about rituals, then they go into the demonic kind of views. And so, one of the things that are really important for us to be able to remember is that rituals look different for different people for different reasons at different times. And so, so one of the rituals that we commonly see is our morning ritual and our bedtime ritual, and a lot of that, I know that for me, that was even more pronounced when I had my kids, because it was, how do we get up in the morning? What are some of the things that we do when we get up in the morning? And it was like, and that's what that ritual is that those expectations of all the things that we would need to do. So the ritual, the routine, the things that we would actually do that way. And some people have rituals when they sit down to eat. So, again, not necessarily from a spiritual connection or from a religious connotation. It is simply, these are some of the things that they do when they come in. This is how they do this. Some people will have routines or rituals for when they come home from work. And so they're going to go and get undressed, like get their coat and all their boots and all that other stuff off. And then they're going to go and some people will actually change into other clothing, that kind of thing. And so, and like preparing the kids for bed, like the routine at my house was, we would have dinner. If we had some activity to do, then we would do the activity, and then we would do the dishes most nights, not always, but most nights we would do the dishes and clean up from dinner. And then from that, we would then do homework if there was any. We would then, if they had time, they would be able to like watch TV or just kind of do some mundane thing that they wanted to do. And then it would be preparing for bed, which meant having a bath, throwing some lavender in there so that there was just some beautiful scent of being able to kind of get into that relaxed state. And then once bath was done, then climbing into the bed and reading stories, and then being able to do then the sometimes the massage, like the hands and feet massage, and whatever it was. For one of my kids was turning on the meditation music, and so it was always different, or it wasn't always different. It was always the same thing, and they knew exactly what to expect. And so, and of course, it was different for both kids because they had different interests. So, but reading bedtime was always one of the things that we would always do. And so that is a ritual. So that potentially could be one of the things that you're doing. So whether you're doing them with your family or you're doing them with yourself, like these are different things that are going on. And so like there's two different names for rituals. So one would be a sacred ritual, which would mean that spiritual piece. So whether it's religious or not, it's that spiritual piece. And then secular is those other ones that I was just talking about, like getting ready for work in the morning, getting bedtime ready, being able to prepare your breakfast, and doing all those kinds of things, while still important, are don't necessarily fit in that sacred portion of a ritual. So it's just really important for us to be able to take a look at that. So what are some of the things that we can do to be able to help impact how we can actually continue on this soulful journey? And so one of the ones is being able to really try and impact or do the daily ritual for mindfulness. So like being mindful, and I know that we've talked about mindfulness a couple of times, or more than a couple of times over the course of the month so far, but it really is that that mindfulness is just really able to allow you to be able to stay present and being in this moment, and really focusing on what it is that you're doing. And so when I am out camping or out at a cottage or doing anything like that, then my ritual looks different. My morning ritual looks different than when I'm preparing to get ready for work, or my morning ritual looks different when my grandson sleeps over. My morning ritual looks different when um, my granddaughter sleeps over. So it all depends on what it is that's going on in terms of how things are going to happen. And now that we have Lizzie, we have a morning ritual, and we have all these different things that we do. We have a bedtime ritual with her as well. And so like there's all these different things that we do. And so being mindful, so being able to create more mindful activities allows us to be able to just be in this present moment and just be in that um, that moment and in that space. And so my when I'm out in nature, so like if I'm camping or if we're out at a cottage or whatever it is that's going on, my women's retreats, is being able to when I'm alone. So it's different when I have other people around, but when it's just me, it's like being able to make a nice hot cup of tea and sitting there and just enjoying the warmth of that first thing in the morning, and just being able to sit outside and doing that kind of thing. And so but when I'm at home, it looks different. So I'm not generally having a cup of tea as I'm starting off my day. It's generally being able to, I grab my drink, so then I'm drinking my water and just kind of getting that that out. So it all depends on what is it that we have in terms of our own rituals and the things that we do. So like I know that when I go to the church, is that it's just automatic that I do the, so I come in and there is holy water. And so I put my fingers in the holy water and then I do the sign of the cross, and that's just automatic. And then when I go to sit in the pew, then I kneel and do that part. So again, all of these things are ritualistic as to how it is that we are doing things. So it all depends on what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how do we want to impact what it is that we're doing. And so sometimes being able to learn other things to be able to create some rituals. So when I was doing yoga, that was one of the things. So like, although that yoga is not something that I grew up with, but it was something that I have enjoyed over the years of being able to do. And so being able to do a sun salutation. So again, there's a full ritual when you're doing the sun salutation. You're doing all of the movements in flow based on a ritual of how you do a sun salutation. So it doesn't matter what yoga studio that you go to or what yoga class that you're doing. If they say, okay, we're going to do a sun salutation, you know what it is that you're going to be doing. Unless, of course, it's been some time since you've done it and then you forget. But for the most part, once you've done them a couple of times, you know the routine that you have going on. And so just being able to have that that piece of creating something that allows you to be able to bring things together for you that just kind of encompasses either your morning, your afternoon, or your evening, or your bedtime, or any other time in between. So just all those different things that you do as part of your routine. And so on that note, I am going to say goodnight, and we will talk soon. And yeah, so we will get back together again for day 23, and we'll go from there. Okay, talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.